the Chitz and Giggles podcast.
Namaste.
Hi.
How are you?
No, I'm not bad, mate. How are you?
I think I'm alright.
Okay.
I assume I'm
What?
alright.
What do you mean think you're alright? Why?
I don't. Yeah, I guess I'm good.
You guess. Okay. All right. Lovely.
The serotonin levels seem pretty balanced today.
Are they? Okay. Yeah. Well, I'm good too. Yeah.
Good, jolly good. How's your day been?
Pretty steady.
How's your week
Steady
been?
day. Well, we're only a day or so in, but yeah, otherwise all good. I'm actually working on my own because my work colleague has got a week off. Can you believe it?
Nice.
Well, yeah. And
for some,
my other work colleague is off from now for the rest of the week, so I'm all on my own. So, but you know, I'll.
But we've already covered this. You don't do anything, so
I'm a trooper. I'll just work through. It's fine.
you power through it. Well done.
Thank you. Wait, hang on. Oh no, it's not working. There we go. No, that's not doing it.
What are you trying to do?
I was gonna tap myself on the back.
Ah, yeah. Won't pick you up.
Yeah. Oh, yours did. There we go. Yeah. Just quickly, should we pull up the old last week's joke? Let's
joke
see
of
joke of the week. Let's see who won last week's.
Let's have a look, yeah. Okay, we got 3 comments again. Looks like we got a bit of a trend going on.
Well, maybe it's the same 3 people.
A couple of new names, I think. Ian, I think you commented last week. Grapes jokes for the win.
Shout out to Ian, baby.
I did the joke.
Oh,
Joke,
sorry.
didn't I?
Sorry, that was your line. I just stole your line.
As for building sheds, I can see where the name Chitz comes from. Wow.
Oh no.
I've seen what your fronts look like, my friend.
You getting shit from commenters there, are you?
Sean,
can we leave out the
wins
hate?
This week's joke. That's 2 for me.
Yes, I'm well aware.
And DJ, build sheds. That's the joke of the episode. I don't think he understands the
assignment.
Oh, yeah, assignment there. Yeah. Anyway, that's 3 for me, I think.
Do you know what? I'm gonna stop telling me jokes because they're obviously not good enough.
You took the game.
I know. Yeah, but I know a few jokes, but they're risky jokes, and I don't want to be too, risky.
I got another risky one today.
Oh, okay.
You have to watch to the end of the episode to find out this week's jokes. So in this week's episode, what are we talking about?
I'm not sure.
Have you seen anything on the world of the internet lately you want to bring up?
No, nothing.
Ah, come on. Help me out a little.
Not got a clue.
So I sit at work doing nothing with your feet on your desk. You have no time for the internet.
Well, I've watched a few different YouTube videos or Instagram reels.
Nothing that blows your mind.
Nothing that I can remember right now. What have you got for us? What interesting fact of the week have you got for us?
Oh, I don't know. That's putting me on the spot a bit. I'll have to think.
Okay.
But you just said remembering. How, when you remember?
Yeah.
Like you recall memories. Memories are a very weird thing. But when you recall a memory, a past event that's happened in your life that you can bring to your mind's eye, you can recall it and see it again, relive it.
Yeah.
How do you see it? Are you seeing it as you did that day it happened? Or so in the VR world now, I can only see my hand. I can't see my face.
Yeah.
Are you like that?
Like in the real world, yeah.
Yeah. Are you looking out of your own eyes? So in first person perspective, or are you these guys looking at us when you remember?
Well, no, because I don't have that perspective of the memory, do I?
Well, I suppose neither do I, but all my memories are in third person.
How?
What do you mean, how? I don't know.
You wasn't, when you're remembering something, you wasn't stood in the corner watching like some sort of weirdo.
Well, I'm very aware of that.
You was living it. The only thing that you can remember, surely, is of your own perception.
I was living it like some sort of weirdo. Yeah,
What was?
And my dreams as well. My dreams are third person. Now dreams are not a memory, so how do you perceive your dreams?
Well, we'll come back to that. I was going to say, what is a dream? But okay, go on. We'll circle back. How can you see How can you see from a third person when you never experienced it as a third person? So surely it's just your mind's got to be making that up, assuming what you were doing at the time,
but of
to
course,
see what it would look like.
That's all a memory is anyway. You don't actually remember what you saw. You remember certain details and reconstruct that image in your head, which, by the way, is a completely different memory every time you recall it.
No.
So if you remember the first day we met, do you remember?
Yeah.
Tuesday morning.
How do you know it was a Tuesday morning?
Actually, it wasn't a Tuesday, but quite possibly could have been a Thursday.
It actually, it could have been a Thursday. It wasn't in the morning either. It was in the afternoon. It was in the evening.
Possibly.
It was. I remember it. Now you said it, I remember it was.
It wasn't in the evening, but it could have been in the afternoon.
It was, alright, late afternoon. I mean, your evening and my evening are two separate things.
Well, we was meeting in the same country, so it was the same thing.
Okay, well, I'm sure it was like 6, 7 o'clock.
Maybe I had a bit of jet lag, but... Was it that late?
Yeah. Sure, it was after I finished work, and I don't finish work until 5 o'clock, and then I don't get home until like 6 o'clock. By the time I'd done what I'd done that particular day, must have been after 6.
Well, maybe, but I'm sure I flew in on the Wednesday, so it would have been the day after. I'm sure it was a Thursday.
It was a Thursday because I left Thursday night. That same evening, I left and drove to Barcelona, and got there on the Friday morning.
Okay, well, so we both remember that same event happening.
Yeah.
I guarantee you, we remember it differently.
Well, yeah, because, I mean, I remember it from my perspective and you remember it from your perspective.
Well, no, because I can see me and you shaking hands. And then I can see me shaking the hand of your friend who you introduced me to. And you said, there you go, you know him as well as I do now.
I don't remember that.
I do.
I don't understand how that is any different. I don't remember that particular part of it, what I said.
Okay, but the details of the restaurant that we're in.
Yeah, but I know it quite well.
Exactly.
So I know it as
a lot more
exactly
familiar.
as it is, yeah.
So I'm constructing a complete restaurant in my brain. Full of people.
Yeah.
They're all faceless people apart from the people at our table.
Yeah.
I remember us all sitting around it, but I don't remember in what order. I don't remember who sat next to who. But in my head, I can see us all sat around that table. Not a doubt in my mind is that I've got that order completely wrong. I know roughly, like, I was sat opposite so-and-so. They were sat to my right, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the details are blurry. And each time I remember that, one of those details I previously put there, maybe a plant pot in the corner, the next time that's not there. Always in the different corner.
Right. Okay, I see what you mean.
Your memories always change.
Right.
You never remember the same memory twice.
So you picture that day. Think about that day right now, and think about when we shook hands like this.
Yeah.
Hello, wrong hand. We shook hands.
I was going to say, yeah.
Hello. We shook hands like this. Okay. But you remember us shaking hands like this from standing over there?
Yeah, I can see me, and I can see you shaking hands as if it's two people over there.
I mean, I could if I tried. if I actually like tried to imagine us.
That's the thing. I've had this conversation with a few people, and even when I try to picture in first persons or through my own eyes,
I can
it
because
just goes back to third person.
but I can picture that moment. Let's say in like I'm reliving it. Like when I think about it, like reliving that moment.
So why does that not work for me?
Don't know. Maybe you're just a shit for brain. Shit for brains. Shits for brains.
Okay.
Anyway, what was you saying? What is dreams? What are dreams? Go on. They're not memories, are they?
I think they memories throughout the day, or problems that you occur throughout the day that your brain tries to solve while you're asleep. Something like that, I believe. Now, answer this question.
Okay, I'll try.
I have a dream, hypothetical this is. I have a dream, my teeth are falling out. I Google, what does it mean when I have a dream, my teeth are falling out? And Google tells me I'm lying about something.
What do you mean?
How does my brain know to give me a dream about my teeth falling out, because that's what means I'm lying, if I don't even know that?
Wait, I'm so confused here.
Let's say your dreams have meanings. If you have a dream about your car gets stolen, if you Google the meaning behind that dream, it'll give you a meaning.
Right.
And people have apparently come at breakthroughs with Googling what their dream means, and it tells them, this is what your dream means. This is why you're dreaming this dream. Well, how can Google know that, even if I don't know that?
From other experiences, maybe?
What sort of experiences?
I don't fucking know.
You mean like other people's dreams?
Yeah.
But how do they know?
I don't know. I'm so confused. I'm really lost right now. I don't know where we're at. Are we dreaming? Is this a dream right now? Are we dreaming?
How do you know?
How do I know if I'm dreaming right now? I don't know.
I think you've already answered that question, because if you're dreaming, you don't know you're in a dream. So if you question it, then you must be awake.
That's like Inception starting to happen.
Well, if they know they're awake, if they think they're awake, then they're in a dream.
No, they use the spinning things, don't they? If the spinning thing just carries on spinning, then they're in a dream.
That's only Leonardo DiCaprio's thing. They all have their own gimmick, don't they?
They have their own thing to ground,
them
don't they? Yeah. But I don't know. What's the others? Do you know?
I don't know. That film's so confusing. I don't think I could keep track.
And it's something that you can't see faces in dreams. Did I hear that somewhere?
No. I'm sure I can see faces in my dreams.
No, I believe in a dream you can't see someone's face. It's just a blur. It's just that you know that who that person is, and you just, you perceive, you know who it is, but you can't actually see the face. I thought that was
apparently you can't imagine a made-up face.
What do you mean?
If you try and imagine a face that you've never seen before, somebody's face that is just completely made up, it's impossible. Yeah. Apparently you were picturing somebody's face you've encountered.
What, so if I think of, right, okay, let's just, like, your next door neighbour, I've never met him before. What do you mean? If I picture your next door neighbour, that's somebody that I've actually seen once before. Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Well, is your next door neighbour a man or a woman?
Both. Well, it's not one person who's both. It is two people.
I don't assume no genders or anything, but they are. Oh, okay.
I will ask them their pronouns.
They, them. I don't know. Okay. No, I can't even begin to picture what your neighbours look like. Are they old?
Oh, without offending anyone, yes.
Oh, okay. This is not very good podcast topics, is it? Are your neighbours old?
Yeah, everyone's Everyone has an old neighbour. They're always bloody nosy in their window, peeping through the curtains.
Oh, that reminds that reminds me of Gavin and Stacey when the Shipmans turn up at Gwen's house. You've seen Gavin and Stacey, haven't you?
Yeah.
And they go, "Oh, when did you get here?" And then 2 minutes ago, how did you know he was here? Glenda tweeted. And then the next thing, Glenda texted me. She said she was here. Yeah. Glenda's obviously looking out of her window and then telling everyone.
Yeah.
Naughty Glenda.
Maybe my third person memory is kind of like a remote viewing type thing. Do you believe in that shit?
What?
Remote viewing.
What do you? In what sense? What do you
mean? You can like send your celestial body elsewhere and view that place when your physical body is back here.
No, don't know. I've never. Do you mean like an out of body experience? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, but controlled, so they can. The CIA actually done experiments. They tried to fight criminals using this method.
No.
So that's someone who could supposedly remote view. They put them in a room. They told them who they were looking for, and asked them where they were.
Kind of like Stranger Things.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
11. Yeah, I've never had an out of body experience or anything, but I have. Somebody told me once that they had an out of body experience. They'd fallen asleep on the settee, and they could remember, or they might have been drunk or whatever. I don't know, but they'd fallen asleep on the settee, and it felt like to them they'd woken up and stood up, but then turned around and looked at the settee, and they were still asleep on the settee, but they could see themselves asleep on the settee.
Really?
But they felt like they'd woken up, stood up, and walked around, and then as they looked at the settee again, they was actually still there asleep, but they themselves had woken up and moved around.
Can you imagine if that is a true story? How trippy that'd be. How freaky that'd be.
I know. Imagine that. Just like waking up,
I think.
Getting up, moving around, and going, "Oh fucking hell, I'm still asleep. What the hell?"
I'd think I was dead.
Yeah, maybe.
Do you believe in ghosts?
Yeah.
Do you believe in God?
God?
Yeah.
Which one?
Anyone? Do you believe in any God?
No.
Then why ask?
Because there's many gods. Which God are you referring to? But I don't believe in any of them. But you know.
Okay. Do you believe in ghosts?
Yeah. Let me tell you a story, right? When my daughter was, I don't know, 2? Maybe 2. She used to say that she'd be in a bedroom talking to somebody. Just randomly talking. And at the start, we think, well, she's just a baby. She's just talking and blah, 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 blah. Just talking away to herself.
Yeah.
And we used to say to her, "Who are you talking to?" And she'd say, "I'm talking to the man." And that on its own is a bit like, what the fuck, you know. I'm talking to that man. He sits at the end of my bed when I go to sleep. So it's like, okay. And then time went on, and she'd still say she was speaking to this man. And one day she seen a picture of my partner's granddad. And she said, "That's the man that's in my bedroom. He's the one that I speak to at night." And we're like, "What?" She says, "Yeah, he's always in my bedroom fixing things." Now, he was a big fixer. He was a mechanic. He had cars and he fixed things, and he fixed everything. He built everything himself. He was one of these old-fashioned, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He fixed everything. He was always tinkering with something. He was always doing something. I was speaking to him, and he died about just under a year before she was born. And she said, "I was speaking to him. I see him all the time. He's in my bedroom, and I talk to him." And that's some creepy shit. That is.
Yeah, stories like that creep me out.
That is proper creepy. I mean, when she said, "That's the man in my bedroom," it's like, what the fuck? Because obviously she didn't know who he is. She didn't know who he was. She didn't know anything about him. And we used to say to her then, well, that's Papa. You talk to him and you know, he's nice and he's this and he's that. And then in the end, she used to sit there and talk to him as if she knew him. But I don't think she can remember any of it now. But so if they're not real, who was she talking to? And why did she think, or why did she say that particular person, that particular man, was the one that she was speaking to in a bedroom?
Yeah, there's many possibilities, I suppose, but
It's mad, isn't it? That she would point him out and say, "That's the one. He's the man in my bedroom that I speak to."
So where was this photo? Was it at your house? Did she see it?
It was in her grandmother's house.
So she had regular access to this photo.
So she'd seen it beforehand, I believe. I'm not sure, but she was younger, so you know when she could see things and communicate, and she'd say, "Well, that's the man that I've been speaking to, or that's the man that sits on my bed at night, or when I go to bed, and stuff like that."
They say that kids and animals are sensitive to these things.
They apparently kids have a sixth sense and know these things, but it's just I don't know. I do believe in certain things, but then other things seem a bit far fetched. You know, when you see like this shit on TV where they go to some haunted fucking place, most haunted, whatever it is, and they hear all these noises and shit. I don't believe any of that.
But how many seasons have they made of that show?
I don't know.
Not one single ghost has been caught on tape.
Yeah, exactly.
At what point do they give up?
Well, I don't think it's on telly anymore.
Is it not?
Well, I don't think so. I don't watch it if it is.
No, I've never watched it.
I don't wait for the new season of Most Haunted.
No. What's your earliest memory? Not what's your earliest memory. How old is your oldest memory?
Do you mean of a ghost?
No, just in general.
My oldest memory?
Yeah.
Oh, fucking hell.
So how young can you remember back to?
As in, like, a lot of memories at the same time, or just random memories?
Just the earliest.
And
you can pinpoint that I'm 5 in there.
Oh.
In that memory.
I can remember bits and bobs from when I was about 5.
You don't remember any earlier?
I can remember, yeah, if I think about it, I can remember things that happened when I was probably about 3, 4, maybe. Yeah, it must have been.
I have a lot of memories from very young. 2, 3.
I can remember certain bits if I really.
I can remember my house that I lived in. That's
yes.
If that's a memory, I suppose I can remember the living room to be in particular.
Yeah, I can remember the house I lived in and where it was and what it kind of looked like. I can't give an exact. Like, I know exactly what it looked like, but I know
what
kind
of
of
the carpet was. Yeah, exactly.
Vaguely,
memories are strange. You could walk into a room yesterday and you could ask me what colour was the carpet, and I wouldn't know.
Yeah, but that's something that you.
Or I'd think I'd know, and I'd be adamant. It was blue. It was definitely blue. No, it was bright pink.
It was pink.
You fucking knob.
That was definitely a pink carpet. Was you been Elton John's house or something?
What are our memories? Strange. Yeah, I have a memory of a place, so my living room when I was 2. And I know I was 2 because I moved from there when I was 2.
I remember more of, like, my nan's house, for example, because...
Spent a lot of time there?
Yeah, but I'd also been there later on in life, whereas I hadn't been back to where, when I was younger. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was at the particular house we lived in until I was like, I don't know, 3 or 4. And I don't remember that as much. But if I go back to my nan's, which I went to, I don't know, when I was, let's say, 13, which I remember it.
Yeah. Hey, check this out. I got this memory. It's obviously not a memory, but that's the only thing I have to call it. That's the only thing in my
Right.
vocabulary to call this thing, because I remember it as a memory.
Right.
I'm in my nan's living room.
Yeah.
I can see a fireplace, a chimney breast coming off that fireplace, brown carpet, and wood panel walls.
Right.
Very, very old-fashioned house. Now, in my lifetime, her living room never looked like that. Her fireplace was knocked down, her chimney breast was knocked down, that wall was actually opened up to create a window, and in my entire lifetime, she had glass, like mirror tiles on the wall instead of the wood paneling. So not once in my lifetime did her house look like as I remember it. And because of this memory that I've had, I think, all my life, I've spoken about it a few times, and my family have said, no, you can't remember it like that. We've actually gone back through photos that she's had of her
I was going to
in
say,
the
have you
photo
seen a
album
photo?
to see if there's any of her living room, and there's none.
But was it like that?
It was like that, exactly as I described it.
But you never seen it like that.
And whether I was told, and I created this picture from a description that was given to me, and I remember what was described to me, I don't know. But I have this image in my head that as far as I can remember, I've always had. Because I remember actually speaking about this with my mother when I was quite young.
That's
She was like,
strange.
no, this is it's impossible. She actually dismissed it completely. I mentioned it a few times, no, it's never looked like that. Wasn't until I spoke to my grandfather about it, he was like, yeah, it did look like that. And then he went on to tell my mother, in fact, yeah, it did look just like I was explaining.
That's mad, isn't it?
And I
How?
don't know where this memory came from. It's the only psychic, I suppose, is the only.
That's another one. Do you believe in psychics?
I don't know. I think there are many people out there to make a quick buck.
Yeah, I think it's another weird one. It's a bit like bloody ghosts in it. I mean, I think there is certain people can feel or know certain things, but I don't think it's as
Psychic, okay, so psychics are fortune tellers type of thing, are they?
well. No, not necessarily fortune tellers. Not one of those with the fucking hood and the ball and
No, they predict the future, though.
Well, I don't know because
I was thinking of medium, as someone who can speak
yeah, no, that's someone that can speak to dead and speak to the other side and stuff like that.
Do you believe in that?
No, that's that. Mind you, that does go on the line of ghosts, doesn't it? I mean,
But you were saying earlier that kids and animals supposedly have this sixth sense. How many senses are there that we aren't in sense with?
well, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, exactly.
Like, we are familiar with the five senses that we use every day.
Yeah.
Like, we're losing our sense of smell. When we lived outside every day, we wasn't locked in our homes and offices and cars, we could smell a lot more. We're losing our sense of smell.
Right.
Probably our sense of sight, because we're looking at screens an inch away from our eyes.
Yeah.
We're probably losing our hearing because we got headphones on our heads all the time.
Losing your what?
Exactly.
But anyway, going back.
So how many senses have we lost? We might have been telepathic, you don't know.
But psychics. Now, I think that I've been told stories. I've never actually experienced it, but I've had people tell me things that, like, my mum and dad were in a bar once, and some random person came up to my dad and said, I feel like I need to tell you this. I feel like I need to speak to you. And my dad was a bit like, yeah, all right, whatever. It's just someone pissed up in a pub. It's not nothing, serious.
Yeah.
And they said, you're expecting a grandchild. And my dad was like, well, yeah, okay. Maybe it was spoke about in the bar. He doesn't remember it, but maybe it was spoke about. She's going to be early. She's not going to be when she's due. She's going to come early, and she's this, and told him all load of information, and he didn't think anything of it. And then, in fact, she was early. Now that is I don't know the statistics, but she could have been early.
Yeah.
But somebody said something, and then they carried on saying just some strange things, and he was like, "Well, that could happen," but didn't really think anything of it. Now, why would anybody just randomly go up to somebody and say, "Oh, this," and just give them a load of shit? How were they supposed to know that? I mean, someone that says they're a psychic and they can tell you your future and all that shit, I think that's just trying to get money. But for somebody to just come up to you randomly and say this, someone else has said it. I not that long ago, a few years ago, I know someone, and they were in this again in a pub, and they just come up to somebody and started telling them a load of shit about them that this other person shouldn't have known. How's that happen? That's what makes me think psychic in that sense, maybe, yes. But not in the
Well, have you ever been thinking about someone, like, oh, I really need to text this person, I haven't spoken to them in a while, and with that, your phone will go off and it'll be from them?
No, never experienced that. I have been sat talking about something, and an advert pops up on my phone. Though I mean, I've had that a few times.
I don't think that's so much psychic as
no, that's just more Facebook advertising. Bloody Facebook.
Trying to make money off of us.
Damn you, Zuckerberg.
Yeah, that's happened to me a few times. Oh, I've been thinking about someone. My friend, I got a good friend who, I don't think he'd mind me talking about this, had open heart surgery when he was a baby.
Right.
He now has a pacemaker. I've known him years. Only once he's ever told me this story. The night before his wedding, actually. He told me he's had multiple open heart surgeries, and he's told me during these surgeries, he's seen himself on the operating table.
No.
Like, he can feel them, he can hear every word the surgeons are saying. He's there in the room with them, looking down or looking over at himself on the table while being operated on.
Well, that's kind of like what I said earlier about an out-of-body experience.
Exactly.
So he yeah, that's mad.
So what is that? If your consciousness is somehow able to exit your body, however brief, does that then go somewhere? Does that part of you then, if it doesn't need your physical body, when you die, does that live on?
Well, that's in theory. That's what a ghost is, isn't it? It's your spirit staying here.
It can't be coincidence that every single religion on earth existing and that has ever existed, because religions die, always have that in common, some sort of afterlife. They all vary, but they all have something after what we're experiencing now.
Maybe we just jump out of the simulation to our real life. We just leave the Matrix. I did hear that somewhere that's what the light is that you go to, isn't it? Isn't that a theory, that the light that everyone supposedly sees just before they die?
It's the wasted sign coming up.
Is wasted.
5 stars flashing in the corner.
No, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Apparently, that's it's like where you're bloody leaving the simulation.
I don't know.
No.
Do you believe in simulation theory?
We have touched on this before slightly, but it's hard. I don't know. It's hard not to, but then it's hard to imagine it, isn't it? You can't. Your brain. You can't physically. It's hard. So hard to wrap your brain around it if it was true.
But think about it. If it's true and we knew about it, well, how about there's a dead universe? It's full of cold, dark, rocky, lumpy clusters of ice and rock.
Mm.
And these form and make cold, dry bodies orbiting unfathomably big balls of gas. Then those planets, those rocks that are orbiting this ball of gas, cools and forms water. That water then gets a bit mouldy and grows life.
Yeah.
Over 3 billion years, that life slowly gets more and more complex to the point where we are sat here and we are able to acknowledge our existence.
Yeah.
We know we're alive.
We think we're alive. If we're in a simulation, we're not alive, really, are we?
Well, what's the difference? If all that's true, you said it's hard to get your head around if we're in a simulation. Well, isn't the alternative even harder to get your head around?
What, the
Like, all that's
alternative is
possible.
that we're not in a simulation?
Yeah, but the fact that we evolved, the universe started 13.8 billion years ago, our solar system started 6 billion years ago, Earth formed 4 billion years ago, and life started 3 billion years ago, and humans have been on Earth 300,000 years. Actually, did you know, according to particle physics, atoms can spontaneously appear and disappear and
What does that-
reappear somewhere else?
What does that mean, then?
Well, everything's made up of atoms. This wooden table,
Yeah.
solid atoms. Everything we see, what we're made of, us ourselves, our flesh, our bones, the clothes, the buildings we're in, everything is made of atoms.
Yeah.
Those atoms, according to particle physics, can spontaneously disappear and reappear somewhere else in the universe.
Like time travel.
In any order. They don't necessarily have to be made up as they are, but also, just as easily, they could be made up exactly as they are. So our brain, where our consciousness lives, according to particle physics, can spontaneously form just our brain
Yeah.
in the middle of space. Wouldn't even need a planet to exist on, wouldn't need anything. Our atoms can form in the form of our brain. Our own personal brain, my unique brain, can form in the vast of space, where my consciousness would live. If that was the case, then all this is just as much of a simulation as simulation theory.
I don't know.
And if he was in a simulation, when did it begin? Did it begin when he was born, or did it start today and all your memories have just been uploaded?
Bloody hell. I don't know. That's deep, that.
That is...
I don't know. Wow, bloody hell.
See, it makes it even more scary. Like, if we're in a simulation, that's narrowing our existence down to just zeros and ones. But to
Yeah.
think that we only just became alive? The simulation only just this very second. Now.
Now.
And everything else was just upload that as background information. Give the character some brief description of his history.
Give him a memory that he doesn't remember.
Exactly.
give him a memory that weren't real.
That fire wasn't supposed to be there.
Yeah. That's a glitch. But although, have
Maybe.
you seen the videos going around at the minute of people playing a game that's NPCs are powered by AI, and they're speaking to the NPCs, which is AI, and they're saying, "Do you know you're in a simulation?" And they start like freaking out, going, "What the hell? What do you mean I'm in a simulation?" And they don't realize they're in a simulation, which is, it's a game.
It must be programmed to say that.
It's apparently AI powered. So it's the
even,
AI.
Even ChatGPT, they still got walls up around it.
Yeah, no, I know that. But then somebody said to him, "What happens when I turn the game off?" And the AI said, "When you turn the game off, it just goes black. And then when it comes back on again, we appear again. We're here again." And they one of the videos was just telling some, do you know you're in a game? And they're like, "What the hell?" And they don't realize what's going on. And this AI thing, I mean, obviously it's AI, so it can be made to say certain things, I suppose, but you know what I mean?
Yeah, he's getting very scary.
Yeah, it is.
I seen a very convincing video on Instagram. A girl snowboarding, singing along to whatever song she was singing. And in the background was this big grizzly chasing her.
I've seen that.
I might have sent it to you. But apparently completely fake.
Really?
I was like, well, damn, it had me convinced.
No, that was a real video, surely.
Apparently fake. I've seen that video of a guy with a baseball bat. I think it's baseball. Hits the ball against a net that bounces multiple times, then comes back to him. And then he hits it back and does the same pattern, and he keeps doing that in a rhythm. And then the guy who served the first ball then throws in a second. Have you seen that video?
No.
Well, apparently completely fake. How are we going to know what's real? If I'm questioning things now, and apparently that video was a couple of years old with the bear. Apparently that was a few years old. What's going to happen in 5 years? Or 10 years? How real would we look now?
Elon has warned us about the powers and the threats of AI, hasn't he? He has said that.
Calling the pot kettle black. He's actually the main founder of
ChatGPT. I know it is. I know, but
and he's now creating his own because he left ChatGPT over arguments. He wanted the website, the app, to be run differently. He wants free information for all.
Right.
That's what he stands for.
What do you mean free information for all? Like
true information. People and free speech.
Yeah.
The reason he bought Twitter in the first place is because people were being banned off Twitter. Donald Trump, the president of the United States, was banned from Twitter, from free speech. He's banned because of something he said. And if you can't say what you want to say, then that's not free speech. In a country that's supposed to be the most free country in the world.
Yeah.
Which is why he bought Twitter, and apparently for a lot of data, human data, to put into his AI programming.
As I say, isn't he making the Tesla bot or something it's called? What's it called?
Yeah. It's using the same computer that's in the Tesla car.
And it's supposed to take over, or it's supposed to do easy human jobs. Everyday jobs for that a human
easy,
can
boring,
do.
dangerous jobs. The jobs humans don't want to do. Because he's worried about a population decline.
That's pretty scary.
Well, population decline.
No, I mean, like having a robot. That's like iRobot. Just the beginning of iRobot, isn't it?
It's supposed to be very easy to overpower. Your average human could take it down.
If it's AI, if it's something that's AI, it's something that can learn. If it's a computer that can learn, then what's to say that something that can be overpowered? What's to say that this machine doesn't learn how to counter itself being overwritten? Do you know what I mean?
It's not a case of it being overwritten, like code-wise. It's a case of it physically, a human could like push it over.
Yeah, but it'll get to a point where a human couldn't push it over because this robot is it's got to be able to move, so it's got to have the motors in it to be able to make itself move like a human.
Have you seen it? Have you seen the fingers of it?
I haven't. I've seen like the odd video of you know the theories and stuff like that, but I've not actually seen one. But what I'm saying is, if it's made to look like a human, then it's got to be strong enough to withstand its own weight, which means it's got to be as strong. It's got to be as strong as maybe not as strong as maybe it's got to be as strong as a human, because certain human jobs that are boring and easy and dangerous needs strength.
Yeah, but a robot would be much stronger than us because it hasn't got bones or muscles.
Exactly, it's got metal and motors, so it'll get to a point where it can learn how to, if it gets pushed, to use its feet to keep its balance, and then to just grab a head and spin it around 360 degrees and snap a neck. because it's on a motor, that hand can spin and spin and spin and spin and spin.
Okay, give me a minute. I just need to cancel my pre-order.
Yeah, don't want them, because you don't want to fucking just spinning your head around. No, what I mean is, if it can learn how to counter the things that it's put in place to stop it from going out of control, it'll get to a point where that's what'll happen, I think. I mean, I'm talking years down the line, like, but
Maybe not that far. That's the thing. That's what's scary. In our lifetime, easy.
Yeah. I mean,
Hopefully he sends them all to Mars. That's his fancy, to set up the colony in Mars.
What, make a load of robots and send them to Mars to do it all for him?
They could be incredibly cheap to buy, apparently around 15,000.
Oh, yeah, alright, well, fuck it, I'll have two.
Well, no, think of your average wage is what, 25,000, 30,000?
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I think average is way above that, but yeah.
Not where we work.
Exactly. But if they only cost 15,000, that's 1 year's labour, and they never get sick. They don't have any sick days.
Yeah,
there's no regulations. They haven't got to have breaks. They haven't got to have toilet breaks. They're not entitled to anything.
Yeah. It'll get to a point where we do have these robots, and there'll be people protesting because they want the robots to have a break, and say it's like inhumane, even though they're not human.
At what point do we give them rights?
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. It'll get to a certain point where they go, no, these robots deserve to have a 10-minute break halfway through the day and a 30-minute break later on and stuff like that.
The only thing we'll get them, if they do take over, is a solar flare.
A solar flare?
Which is equally terrifying, because that could happen at any moment.
Yeah, but I did see something on that. We do have things in place that we would know it was going to happen. I seen a video that if we was to get hit by a massive solar flare and we didn't know about it, we could be wiped back to the Stone Ages.
What's the difference if we do know about it?
We've got time to take things offline and make things not powered. So, like the power grids, for example, if a solar flare was to hit a power grid that was so massive, it would destroy the power grid and destroy everything that it's connected to.
Yeah.
So if we knew, which there's sensors out there that tell us, let's say, 4 hours before it was going to hit Earth, they could turn all these things off and disconnect them all in time, as much as they could, and try and save a lot of it. Satellites might be down and things like that, but they could do things to prevent it, to minimize the damage, rather.
I'm pretty sure the only notice we're going to get is 8 minutes. 8.2.
No, because it's not going to travel at the speed of light, is it?
Why not?
Because it's not light. You can't see it.
I'm pretty sure it travels at the speed of light.
Well, I'll have to have a look.
It's not 4 hours, like, is that...
I'm sure I see a video.
Even then, all your cars are fried, your phones are fried, every satellite in space is fried. You can't knock them off, they plummet to Earth.
I'm sure I've seen a video.
That's our GPS, our banks, everything. This podcast, doomed.
Yeah, I know. I was watching something, literally I was watching something today about what would happen if we was hit by a solar flare. And I'm sure, I remember that it said that we could try and minimize the damage to an extent.
Solar flares are large eruptions of electromagnetic...
It's an EMP, isn't it?
Let's start that again. Solar flares are large eruptions of electromagnetic radiation from the sun, lasting from minutes to hours. The sudden outburst of electromagnetic energy travels at the speed of light.
Oh, it does.
Therefore, any effect upon the sunlight side of Earth's exposed outer atmosphere occurs at the same time the event is observed.
Yeah, but
which means 8 minutes. Light takes 8
minutes. Okay, all right. So it'll
Yeah.
take 8 minutes to get to us, but I'm sure there's things that they're doing because obviously they've got things monitoring the sun and stuff like that. They know when it's like coming. They know when it's like close to happening, so that they can
Maybe,
try and
I
do
don't
something.
know what good is going to do knowing, apart from causing panic.
Well, I definitely watched a video today on it, and I'll find it and I'll send it to you after the show. It was the Kurt.
Again,
Kurt,
Instagram. How would you know what to believe online?
it was Kurt's Gazette. What's it called?
Kurt's Gazette. Yes, they definitely reputable.
It was one of them videos I watched today.
Must be true then. I take it all back.
It was one of their videos, and on there it said that what would happen if we was hit by it, and obviously it would be, like I say, would probably take us back to the Stone Ages. Everything would be gone. There would be no supermarkets would be knackered. There would be cars, phones, all internet, everything like that would be gone.
Yeah.
So there was something
that it hit.
Yes, there was something that I see that's on that video that said that we could try and do something to prevent it by unplugging certain things and by powering down certain things so that it can just pass through it and it won't matter.
They hope.
They hope. Well, yeah, okay. They hope.
I'm sure they've had a solar flare in the past that's actually damaged our electronics.
Yeah, there has been. Yeah. Lovely. All right. I think we've gone on for quite a while on this one.
Yeah, it looks like time for bed, I think.
I think we should wrap this one up.
Do you want to do this week's joke?
And say goodnight to our viewers? Yeah, sure. Do you want me to go first this week?
Yeah,
because apparently whoever goes first seems to be winning. Everybody?
Yeah, sure. Let's put it to the test.
Put it to the test, shall we?
Be my guest.
Okay. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
What does a nosy pepper do?
I don't know. What does a nosy pepper do?
He gets jalapeno business.
Okay, then. Maybe I should have gone first.
Bloody hell. Go on, let's see what you got.
I don't know. Mine's risky. I don't know. You
Go
keeping
for
it
it.
clean.
Yeah.
You're keeping it too clean.
Okay, maybe that's my problem. Maybe I need to risk it up a bit.
Okay.
Go on.
What's the difference between a priest and Woody from Toy Story?
Go on.
Woody goes limp when a child walks into the room.
No, see, if you're talking risky, can I change mine? I'm going to change mine.
No. I'm going to have to clean it up a bit.
If you're talking, no. If you're talking risky, I can change my joke.
YouTube be after me.
Huh?
YouTube will be after me.
Yeah, right, okay. Right, hang on. Right, I'm going to change my joke, right? Scratch the other joke. What?
We can't do do-overs, that's cheating.
No, I'm going to. Okay.
We'll do this once.
What's the difference between a Rolls Royce and a dead prostitute?
I don't know. What's the difference between a Rolls Royce and a dead prostitute?
I haven't got a Rolls Royce in my garage.
Okay, we'll let you have that one.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I'm here all night.
Comment down below who you think was the best joke.
Let us know. Let us know
next
who
episode.
won that one. Thank you very much. Okay, like and subscribe. We need these likes and we need the subscriptions to help the channel.
And follow on our Instagram. Thanks very much.
Bye.
Bye.
The Chitz and Giggles podcast.